Good evening, and good evening. Welcome to another edition of King Talk Tuesdays. I'm your host, Andy King, the show with real views, real news, and real talk. Here on King Talk Tuesdays, we cover so many topics, whether it's education, healthcare, economics, spirituality, and so much more. King Talk Tuesdays airs every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Millennium TV News 24, as well as our Facebook and our YouTube page. King Talk also is streaming on Horizon Satellite, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, and so much more. King Talk Tuesday also airs at 9 p.m. on Optimal Channel 21, Optimal Channel 70, as well as Fios Channel 2136. You know what I always say, right? People pay attention to people who participate. So tell a friend and tell a neighbor that King Talk Tuesdays is airing. You can leave us a comment on our Facebook page or our YouTube page, or you can just email us with any question, thoughts, or suggestion at kingtalktuesdays@gmail.com. Again, our email address, kingtalktuesdays@gmail.com. You know, there's a lot happening and going on in the world today, but you know what I really want to know? As the great Marvin Gaye used to say, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let's talk about what's going on. Today is November 11th, 2025, and we all know what 11/11 means across the globe. It's Veterans Day, and yes, today, Veterans Day, we'll be having a conversation with a number of veterans who are joining me on set today to have that conversation about what it was to be part of the enlisted men or drafted men and women who served this country. But first, before we do that, we want to let you know that today, New York City Mayor, the Honorable Eric Adams, marked Veteran Day by announcing the official launch of the expanded municipal employee housing preference, which now includes military veterans as well. Starting on November 15th, 2025, all new affordable housing lotteries listed on the New York City Department of Housing and Preservation and Development, HPD, Housing Connect websites will include a 10% preference for eligible city employees and military veterans. Previously, the city employees only received a preference of 5% of newly constructed affordable homes and financed by HPD in the city of New York. Now the Development Corporation and listed on the city's Housing Connect lottery. But earlier this summer that Mayor Adams announced the city's intention to expand the housing preference for city employees and veterans as a part of Housing Week. By expanding this preference to include military veterans and increasing the overall share to 10%, the city is strengthening its commitment to the workforce that keeps New York City running while also honoring those who serve the country. Second, we want to let you know that this Saturday, November 22nd, from 12 to 5 at the YMCA in the Bronx, at the YMCA, Northeast Bronx YMCA, 1250 East 229th Street, there will be a Hurricane Melissa relief drive. Many of you know that the island of Jamaica was devastated by this hurricane. So on that Saturday, the 22nd, at the Northeast Bronx YMCA, supplies are needed such as soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes, hand sanitizers, tents, flashlights, whatever you can donate, mosquito repellents, to help do the cleanup, gloves and towels and brooms, trash bags, and also, of course, people need clothing, whether it's for beds, underwear, socks, jackets, whatever you can donate. Please make your way to the North Bronx YMCA Saturday, November 22nd, which is located at 1250 East 229th Street, and so we can do our part to help our brethren that are located in the island of Jamaica. And next, we want to let you know that the Arts of Valor Incorporated will present a creative wealth workshop. It will be facilitated by M.W. Bennett and Sally Pinto, where creativity meets strategy. It will be December 7th, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. It is a Zoom. So as we hold this up for you, it will be a Zoom meeting. So anybody who's interested in being part of this, please, as you continue to watch tonight's show, please zoom into and scan the barcode and join in and be a part of this delightful event. So as we know, today is Veterans Day, and I am joined by all branches that just showed up to do what they do, because they've always done it when they've been asked to call to serve and deliver for their brothers and sisters and the country. So right now I want to introduce tonight's guest for our special edition of King Talk Tuesdays, celebrating and talking about veterans on Veterans Day. So first, we'd like to welcome our colonel of all colonels who are joining us tonight, who saved souls, who braved the elements, but is here today to make sure that she continues to serve and make sure that you never forget the Army is where we all start, whether you go someplace else, but a lot of us start in the Army. So I want to welcome our Colonel Joan Davis for being part of King Talk Tuesdays. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And of course, to our far end, a very creative man who has an exciting story to tell. And I'm looking forward to him, because it's just what he was doing in his armed service is not the regular human condition. He'll talk more about that. But we want to welcome Brother Tariq Nelson from the Army, who's joining us tonight. And next, no stranger to King Talk, no stranger to the television, no stranger to serve and representing veterans today. Straight out of the Iraqi war, did what he had to do, and he's here today, and I'm grateful and thankful for leading a coalition called NAVVETS in the city and across the United States. Welcome our good man, serving from the Navy, where they keep the water outside of the trucks, not in the truck. They keep it outside. Let's give it up for Kevin Megan in the house. No, of course, if you're going to start a fight, you better make sure you got the Marines intact and ready to go. So I say, let's welcome our good man who always represents, Steve Colon from the Marines. Hoorah! Listen, there's a lot to talk about, and we're going to have a lot to share in these next hours and time. We'll fly past us. But before I start any other question, I want our viewers to understand on King Talk Tuesday. Each and one of you, I'd like to give you like 2 minutes to tell our viewers. And of course, we're going to start with you, Colonel. Who is Colonel Joan Davis?
Good day, all. First of all, to God be all the glory, great things he hath done. Secondly, I'm Joan R. Davis. I joined the United States Army in 1986 May, and I retired the 31st of October 2018. I did my job. I served my country, and if you asked me to do it again, I would. I was an Army nurse, and I went on to be an Army public health nurse, and I took care of America's sons and daughters. And while I was in Iraq, I took care of the enemy, because as the Geneva Convention states, you take care of friends and foe on the battlefield. Thank you.
All right. Well, we thank you for that. So I got to ask you, Brother Tariq, talk a little bit about who are you and what are you doing these days as an Army vet? Yes, brother.
These days, or what I did in the military?
Well, before we get to the military, we want to know who you are, and then I'm gonna get back to your story, because I really want to know about your story.
Well, myself, I was young. I was a DJ, and I got into recording, mixing, recording studio, and now I'm into video production. But I was always a tech head, always tinkering with toys and messing with stuff like that. So ever since I was a little kid, pulling speakers out of broken TVs in the street, now I have television production and audio visual production company.
Okay. Well, we're keeping that talent. So we're gonna come because we're gonna jump in that story, because I heard some things I'm very interested in. But again, if we're gonna start a fight, you better bring a Marine in the house now. Talk to us about a little bit. Who is Brother Colon? Talk to our viewers. Who are you?
Well, just the average Boricua that grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Got older, joined the Marine Corps. While in the Marine Corps, I went to combat in 1983. I was in the Marines, excuse me, from 1980 to 1984. Got out the service. Did a lot of different things. A lot of suffering mentally during the amount of time in the service. Got myself back together, and currently I'm working as a supervisor at Samaritan Village, helping out homeless people that have addiction problems and mental health problems.
Oh, thank you. Kudos to that. Yes. Now, Brother Megan, you've been on the show before, but introduce yourself again to our viewers. Who's Kevin Megan?
I'm just a regular person. I look at veteran issues. I actually advocate for better conditions for veterans. I am the regional commander of the National Association for Black Veterans. My region stretches from Maine to Pennsylvania, and I have my own organization called Veteran Action Now, where I launched a campaign on July 4th called End Veteran Poverty Now, because I believe that the root of veteran issues lies in poverty. And if we could fix that, we can actually fix the perception of what a veteran is.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you so much. Now, we're talking about veteran poverty. We're talking about veterans doing some things, but I want to go into the moment you decided to serve. So, Brother Tariq, give us your ranking when you were in service, and what were some of your responsibilities?
When I left, I was a Sergeant E5.
Okay.
But when I was in the 82nd Airborne Division, I was in a platoon, and we were in charge of the communication. The officers would be in the valley, and we would be at the top of the hill with an antenna, and we would connect their radios and telephones and make sure they had communication to everyone that was in the field. So all of the colonels could talk to the captains and lieutenants and what have you. So that was my job. Still carrying on from when I was a kid, playing with, speakers and radios, and then I was operating radios and telephones in the military. And then when I left there, I went to Seoul, South Korea. I was in charge of the Auto CIVOCOM, which automatic secure voice server, and then I was in charge of the general communicating with the president of the White House and all the communications that we had.
Wow, talk about communications and worldly connections. That's a blessing. But we got to take our first break on King Talk Tuesdays. We're going to come back, because I heard you got some other interesting things you were doing as well. But we're right back on King Talk Tuesdays after we have a message from an organization who worldwide shares the word of Scripture that improve the lives and conditions of their brothers and their sisters. We're right back on King Talk Tuesdays after this message from Israel United in Christ.